you'll take. During lunch, you'll leave it on the table. Second would be, if it's not a handphone, it is a wallet. Especially men who leave their wallets in the back pocket. They'll take and they'll leave on the table. Let me show you how good our crooks are. We are very fast, we are very fast. Let me show you. This is with handbags. Okay? Gone. Yeah? Come fast. Okay? Okay, just take and go. Simple as that. Okay? I'll show you one more. I'll show you one more. Sorry. Okay, I'll show you one more. See, these two are using their laptops over here, their tablets. Okay, tablets. 3, 2, 1, gone. Okay, this guy is using his handphone. Gone. Okay. Okay, this guy is eating. Gone. Okay. These are some of the most common street crime which happens in Malaysia. Some of the most common street crimes. Another thing which of course happens very often is pickpocketing. Pickpocketing. It happens very often in Malaysia, especially in the public transportation system. Especially in public transportation system. But I'll tell you one thing about pickpockets in Malaysia, and especially every public transportation security looks into this, and every mall security looks into this. Unfortunately, the best pickpockets in Malaysia are Filipinos.
Labi nagtaga Cebu. Labi nagtaga Cebu.
Filipinos are the best pickpockets in Malaysia. In Malaysia.
Noon dito. Cebu, grabe.
In Malaysia, it is true. Very true. Every mall security, but it's not just Filipinos. I have to be very specific. It is Filipino women. They are the best pickpockets in Malaysia. Filipino women. Okay. So anytime mall security sees a group of Filipino women walking together, they are very suspicious. They are very suspicious. Unfortunately. I'll just show you some videos on pickpocketing in Malaysia. I'll just show you some videos.
Supporting evidence nga.
See these two ladies? They've teamed up. No, not Filipinos, but they're just Chinese ladies. Okay, watch. Just watch. Just two Chinese ladies. No, this is Chinese. Malaysian Chinese. I was worried to show the Filipino one here. I was worried. I saw they took it already. Took already, okay? But I'll show you one better. Like I said, I like to learn crime from criminals. I love to learn crime from criminals. So of course, in the process of learning it, we learn a few skills along the way. So I'm going to show you a video of me pickpocketing people. Okay? And this is real. What I'm going to show you is we were giving a talk somewhere, and we just invited someone on stage just to show that a person can be pickpocketed very easily. Just watch, it's a 30 seconds video. So I'm going to bump into her, and that's it. I've already pickpocketed her. Okay, but now what I'm asking her to do is to look for a handphone in a handbag. So as she's looking for a handphone in a handbag, okay, I'm going to take it out of my pocket. That's a handphone. Alright? So, a little bit of pickpocketing skills I picked up along the way. little bit, okay? But don't worry, I just do it just for demonstration purposes. Okay? Alright. Okay, but another very common thing that happens, especially if you're driving, is something we call smash and grab. A very common thing that happens is that most of the time we might forget and leave our laptop or our computer or our handphone or handbag on the car seat. What happens then is this. This is what we call smash and grab. You see the corner right here? This black car in the corner? Okay? In 3, 2, 1, done. Very fast. That's all. Doesn't matter what car you drive. They can always find a way to break your window. Break, take, go. That's all. That's how fast it is. Less than 2 seconds. It takes less than 2 seconds. Okay? Less than 2 seconds. That's all. Just break, take, and go. So sometimes what we do is, the most common thing they do is they wait for you to stop at 3 places before they break your window. Traffic light, a car park, or your house. So sometimes they will tail you back home and then strike them. I'll show you a video of how it happens at homes. Okay? So this is CCTV. Okay, so the person is coming back home. Person is coming back home. Okay. There is a motorcycle which is passing by, not very clear, but you'll see it in a while. Okay. As you can see, the gate is closing, it's closing, it's closing, it hasn't closed. The guy has opened it. And the criminal just walks in, breaks the window, takes the bag, and goes. Okay. Same thing, the motorcycle tails you. Same thing, break, take, go. That's how fast and efficient it is. Okay? So those are some of the street crime, most common street crime which happens. But now the thing that is the most profitable version of crime is of course always commercial crime. Okay? Of course, above commercial crime, the most profitable thing would be politics. That's the most profitable thing. Below politics is commercial crime. Okay? I'm sure across any country it's the same. In Malaysia, so it's very bad. Okay, very bad. So, one of the most current commercial crime which is happening is something called the Macau scam. Are you all familiar with what a Macau scam is? Okay, no, okay, good. But I know one of your mayors became a victim of Macau scam quite recently, about a month or two ago. One of your mayors, I'm not too sure which city, but let me explain what a Macau scam is. A Macau scam is when someone calls you and they pretend to be a person of authority. Okay? And what they do is they scare you. They will make calls from different departments of the government. They might call and say they are from the World National Bank of Malaysia. And they will mention that your account number is suspicious, there is a suspicious activity of money laundering. Or you have an unpaid loan which you had not taken in. What happens then is that they will tell you, okay, I understand someone may be hacked into your account. Not to worry, transfer all your money into this account while the investigation is running so that we do not freeze your money. And people actually transfer. So it's a very common thing, and trust me when I tell you this, very, very educated people fall victim to what we call a Macau scam. Okay? In fact, it is so profitable in the year 2017 alone, Malaysians in total lost 131 million. That's about 1635 million pesos. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. It's one of the most profitable scams in Malaysia. What they use is what they call a VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol, which allows them to call you from any number they like. I can call you today using your number if I want. I can call from your PNB if I want to. That's what they do. So it's a very smart scam. And a lot of people fall prey. And victims, why? Because criminals target fear. They are able to use that fear and convince you to transfer your money into their bank account. Okay? So that's how it is. But let me just share with you some statistics of crime in Malaysia. Okay, let me just share with you. For the past few years, the good thing is crime has reduced in Malaysia for the past few years. From 2013 to 2016, crime has dropped from 147,000 cases a year to 112,000 cases a year. Of course, this is a large amount. It's still a large amount. which brings to Malaysia, we have approximately 300 cases reported every day. Again, this is just index crime. It does not include commercial crime. Okay? In comparison to crime in Philippines, again, because your numbers are much bigger, you have a larger population. I believe Philippines had about 1,001, 1,200 cases daily in comparison to Malaysia. Big difference, but again, different size in population as well. Okay, but some of the strategies which the police have put in place over the years is what they do is they put police an increased number of police officers in black spots. How do they identify black spots? One of the things, of course, they use softwares. Okay, crime mapping software. So as you can see, certain months you can see massive spikes. So when you see those massive spikes, these are the months which they and the states which they are going to put more police officers at. The three main states in Malaysia which has the highest crime is Penang, up north, the capital Kuala Lumpur, and Johor Bahru, just above Singapore. Just above Singapore. Alright? And I'll give you another type of crime mapping. So what they do is they look at what crime is happening where, and that's where a concentration of police officers are put. Right? So that is one of the things. Another thing which they use is what they call the stop and talk strategy. They just deploy officers to go around into the neighborhood to talk to people. The main reason for doing this is to build the confidence and the connection between the police and society. Because the biggest thing with the public is, one, the public probably does not trust the police very well. Two is that they feel that the police is of higher authority and they are not treated with equal respect. So the idea of stop and talk is just to go hang out, to show the public that look, the police, we are your friends, and if there's anything, feel free to give us a call. That was what the stop and talk strategy was about. Also, there were a lot of community building activities. The speaker before me addressed a little bit about community building. So there are a lot as well, a lot of community building activities happening in Malaysia. Another thing, Malaysia, the police designed a mobile application to increase police efficiency. Okay, this is what they call, all you have to do is you fill in your details, and the next time there's an emergency, one, it uses GPS to track you. Two, you just press a button. If you are at home, they know automatically where to come and who's in danger. It's a very good application. It has helped decrease, it has helped make the response time better. So it's a much better strategy to use. Right? Okay. Another thing is, what they did was, we had this program to help offenders reintegrate back into society. So that was very good. They did a pilot project with 840 ex-convicts. Okay, 840 ex-convicts, and 90% of them managed to get employment. 90% managed to get employment. So that was actually a very good initiative by the government and the police, that we were able to reintegrate criminals back into society without any problems. Okay? And another thing which has been quite successful is CPTED. Are most of you familiar with CPTED? Crime Prevention Through Environmental Design. Familiar? Okay, very good. Just going to go through it very briefly then. The good thing about Malaysia is that we've implemented CPTED into our town plan guidelines. This is in our local language, but that means in order for you to build a property, you must follow the CPTED guidelines, which was very good. Okay? This is one of the municipal councils in Malaysia, one of the municipal councils which have had one of the more effective methods of CPTED application. As you can see, over the years, crime has decreased because of the proper CPTED application. So CPTED is actually very good. I would have to say this, I'm not too sure if the town plan department has integrated it into the system over here, but it should. It definitely should. Another thing, but here's the biggest thing. In Malaysia, when it comes to index crime, the highest is always motorcycle theft. Motorcycle theft is the highest in Malaysia
Sorry.
in comparison to every other index crime.
Balik
And
ko, balik.
using SEPTAT, we designed a motorcycle. Not familiar with SEPTAT, please go ahead and learn about it. It can be integrated into your town plan department, but this is how effective SEPTAT is. In comparison to just target hardening and other things, SEPTAT is very, very effective if it's used right. If it's used right. Yeah. I'll just show you how easy it is to steal a motorcycle. Okay? This is how easy and quick it is to steal a motorcycle. Very fast, and of course, most crime is done by the younger population. Here, I'll show you another one. How fast he steals the bike. This guy is quite fast. Okay. See, he started the bike. Now he's going to ride off with it. But that's how fast and how easy it is to steal a motorcycle. And that's why with the use of SEPTAT, we designed proper motorcycle locking dogs and it reduced crime in that vicinity by 32%. Right? So now I'm just going to share with you some issues which are faced in Malaysia. One is, of course, the public has lost a little bit of confidence in the police. But this was mainly due to the fact that the police was used for political reasons. This was mainly because the police was used for political reasons. The second, and which is the most annoying thing about the Malaysian police, is that they do not share information properly. It's very difficult to get statistics from them. Very difficult. Okay? If any of you are recording this, please don't upload this online. I cannot go back to my country then. Okay? So, but here's the thing, they do not share proper information with the public. Another thing, this is very interesting. Like I said, 70%, oh, what is that? Monitor off. Excuse me. Oh? Okay. 70% of identified gang members in Malaysia come from the Indian ethnicity. It's not 70% of Indians are gangsters, no. 70% of gang members are Indians. And this is a big problem. Why? The Indians are the minority in the country. It's a big problem if the minority is the majority of gang members. That means policies are not put in place. There is no proper implementation. And I'll share with you one of the policies which is probably the major contributors. Two, I'll share with you two. Whenever we see job advertisements in Malaysia for a job, they will say, race Chinese only. That's one. Or you must be able to speak Mandarin. Two. Another thing would be, there is a quota system to get into the government universities, the public universities. So the Indians have the lowest quota system. We only get maybe 4% of university seats. So for us to study in the university, we have to be the best of the best. Only then we get into the university. So I'll just give you a simple comparison. Just say, if I'm applying for medicine, let's just say, medicine. The majority, the Malay might only need to get maybe 7 out of 10. Let's say 7 out of 10. But the Indians and Chinese, to get a seat, your score needs to be 10 out of 10. And even then you're competing with the other Indians and Chinese who have 10 out of 10. So how do you get a seat? If your extracurricular activities add on. So not only do you have to study, you have to be active as well in school and all. So that's another big problem. 70% of non-gang members are Indians. Also because of another thing would be because, and that's what we say, that's why I say, in Malaysia, Indians are not money lenders. We are not money lenders because we don't have money to lend. We only need to borrow all the time. That's why we cannot be 5'6" over there. The Chinese are 5'6", not us. Yeah? We got no money to give. We got no money to give. But another thing would be also because a little bit of history. the Indians were brought in by the British and we were put into plantations. Now once these plantations have gone off, they are left without proper education. They only know how to be rubber planters, they only know how to be estate planters, that's all. They don't know anything more. So they have to resort to a life of crime to keep up with the cost of living. It's not cheap to live in the city. Okay. And another thing is that SEPTAC is not properly implemented in some areas. And that has been a major increase in crime as well. Because the biggest problem people think works with SEPTAC is that you can copy SEPTAC. You cannot do that. Right? And of course, corruption is a big thing. Corruption is a very big thing in Malaysia. But not as big anymore. We've got a new government, so things are a bit cleaner. We've got a new government, so things are a bit better now. The former Prime Minister, Mr. Najib, some of you are probably familiar with what was going on. He was so corrupt that this is the minimum number, it's more, but we only assume the minimum number he has stolen is 2.6 billion US dollars. Billion, no more millions, billion US dollars. That's how corrupt it was, society, how corrupt it was. So, now with the new government, I'm pretty sure there's still corruption, but it's not as high as it was back then. Okay? So we are hoping for a change. Also, another problem is that we always have this thing where, oh my god, that's cool technology, let's implement it. But we don't see what are the security breaches to it. We don't see what are the security breaches to it. I'll give a very good example. Access cards, implemented everywhere nowadays. Your hotel room is probably access card. But what's the biggest problem with access card? It can be duplicated in seconds. Like I said, we learn from criminals. I'm going to show you a video in a while of me breaking into a hotel room. Okay? Using a device which I got from criminals. And it was not expensive. I'll just show you how fast this happens. Huh? Okay? So you see, this is my key. I cannot go in at the moment. Right? This is the hotel key card. Okay, it works. Now watch. In just 3 seconds, I'm going to break in. 1, 2, I'm done. Okay, I'm going to transfer and I'm going to walk into the hotel room now. Okay, that's how easy it is to break into using access cards. That's the problem with access cards. Okay, and I'll be honest. The device which I use is battery operated. I don't need to connect it to a computer. I don't need a software to run it. Very simple, right? So that is why sometimes it's important for us. The biggest problem we face is that we always implement first, and we say, no mind, if anything happens, then we'll find a solution. That's the biggest problem we have, right? So same over here. Okay, same over here. Okay. So some of the potential solutions, of course, now with the new government, there's slightly less corruption. Of course, the police have to be a bit more open with the public. The Malaysian police has to be a bit more open with the public. Equal opportunity.